microwave that, because that'll start cooking it.
Yeah, but we can start on the dressing.
And then you need to put some garlic in, so y'all know how to do this?
We talking about the Great Migration, so making soul food.
2 hours, right? Put the potato pie, cook that up. Don't drop that. Pie right there.
And you know, the black culture was using soul. They used that word like soul train, soul food. So that's how it ties into the lesson we learned
Lean
today.
in a little bit towards the food.
Oh, my face.
Look
Put your hand in front of my hand.
My name is Topher Kandik. I'm a 10th and 11th grade English and creative writing teacher. We are in Ward 7 of Washington, D.C. Ward 7 is one of the 2 wards that are on the east side of the Anacostia River. We're in an area of high poverty, and the violence, the addiction, the unemployment are challenges to students meeting the expectations and performing to the best of their abilities. There are some kids that the world wants to put into a certain box or certain category and bound them by low expectations. If you're facing the challenges of poverty outside the school walls, you're going to feel cut off from success. There's a gap between what the world expects of students like mine and what I know they're capable of. So the solution is to change expectations and to get students to know that they can be successful in the classroom. I want my classroom to look as little like a traditional classroom as possible. The more engaged they are and the more they're moving around and it doesn't feel like the traditional classroom, the more they're willing to be themselves and to start engaging in a real authentic way. What we're doing today is a culmination of our work on the warmth of other suns and the Great Migration. Students research their own family history, they put it up on a map in the classroom, and they put their primary source documents next to the path that their family took to get to Washington, D.C. Then we cook. We're cooking traditional Southern dishes that migrated north with the families. It engages students and it brings students who might not traditionally be successful in the classroom to the fore. We're going outside the classroom, we go outside the school, and students are going beyond what's expected for them. We meet with writers. The students set the pace for reading the book. They literally divide it into sections on how much they're going to read each night. And then they come up with questions for each other and then for the author by the time the book is done. These students take control of their own learning, and they find opportunities beyond what I would think for them to teach. The experiences become authentic because they come from the students themselves. They're doing rigorous things that don't seem rigorous to them because they came up with it. I taught a class called Why New Orleans Matters, and I had this really elegant course designed to teach about the culture of New Orleans. A couple weeks in, a student raises his hand and he says, you know, this is pretty cool, we should go to New Orleans. And I said, well, what would that take? And a student said, well, we could raise some money to go. And another said, well, there's some colleges down there we could visit. So we ended up going to New Orleans. We raised the money. We got some matching funds from the school. Budgeting, fundraising, mapping, research, all these skills that weren't in the original curriculum were learned because they came from the student experience. You can't force a student to read. You can't force a student to do anything. My hope is to give them enough kind of support and enough confidence to want to do it themselves. When they've decided like this is for them, this is something that they're going to learn, they care about what they're doing. They care. There's no student who can't be successful. What is more important than anything is to engage students in an authentic way so that they can take control of their own learning.